So I got a feeling he's gonna do a lot of talking. But
I could go like this.
yeah, there you go.
I'll lead into him.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, very good. All right, AJ,
All right.
nice to meet you.
Hey.
Mario.
Mario, you guys remember my name?
It was vowel, correct?
Say it one more
It was a
time.
vowel.
It was a vowel, yes, yes. The most common vowel.
E.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say I.
both of those are in it though, Eris.
Eris. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's right. Okay, very good. So you guys are students here at UIC?
Yeah.
Sir.
And tell me again what you're majoring in.
Computer engineering.
Computer engineering.
Excellent, excellent. And before you were in computer science,
Yes, sir.
and then you switched to computer engineering.
Yep.
All right, let me start here. Can a computer, like even just theoretically, do anything that a human brain can do?
It can without the interpretation of the human themselves, and I would say there's limits to that, but there's also limits to humans.
Okay, so I want to talk about this. I want to talk about those human limits. But first, you know, it's not very smart to be right next to the road.
Yeah.
We're just going to move a little bit this way.
For sure.
So tell me, you said without the interpretation of human. And let me get AJ back
Yeah.
in the middle. Yeah, tell me what you mean by that.
I mean, in order to let's say have a simulated environment, you're gonna need that data in the first place. Like you can't get an output without the input. So without
Sure.
humans, you can't metaphysicalize or what, I forget the word, but create an environment without our own input.
Exactly. Because, like for example, AI doesn't create. AI copies. It has to be trained on data that already exists. AI cannot create its own data to train on itself currently, and it needs human input. And because it needs human input, I feel like it's dependent on us essentially.
Okay, very good. I guess I'm not, because couldn't you say, okay, so we're looking at a computer as an input-out system.
Yep.
Takes inputs, processes them according to certain rules and algorithm, and it produces outputs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the difference between that and a human brain?
A human brain has a lot more variables to go through. There's
Okay.
experiences, there's ideologies.
But why couldn't a computer have that?
Because it doesn't have an upbringing like nature or nurture like a human does.
But you talked to me about training. What's the difference between training and upbringing?
I feel like with training, it's a lot more specific. Like you need to have what's the word?
direct.
Yeah, a direction and it needs human input. Whereas a human upbringing is dictated on the world that's already present.
Why couldn't a computer be if I built a system, an algorithm, could I put it on the corner and it would receive inputs from the environment and then it would process those inputs?
Yes, but not as much as a human because it's still going to be limited by what inputs you allow it to receive.
What about humans? Are we not neurons, right? Do you know how neurons work?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got these, for the viewer, you've got these receptors, right? And if you don't put the right neurotransmitter into those receptors, nothing happens, right? But if you put the right neurotransmitter, the right quantity of triggering of receptors, then you get an action potential. So it sounds to me like a human brain then can't just process anything. It has to be things that it's been trained for by evolution, by its lifetime.
Yeah, I feel like evolution is another factor, like the DNA and what makes human a human also,
Yeah.
as opposed to an AI which is constructed by humans.
Okay, all right.
Because I feel like a bird and a badger would input things differently as opposed to an AI.
Absolutely.
And humans know what they would want themselves.
Yeah.
While a computer, or humans have the ability to know what they want. Meanwhile, a computer is
Is that
directed
true
to
based
know.
on your experience? Do humans know what they want?
Not always, but they have the ability to.
I feel like on a survival basis, like animals, eat, sleep, drink water, just like
Yeah.
that. But with the computer, you need to tell it what it wants.
Aspirations aren't there.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have curiosity like humans do. It doesn't have imagination. It needs to be told what to do. Computers have to follow instructions. It can't just do things on its own.
Okay. Do humans have free will?
I say
Yes.
so.
Oh yeah, and what does free will mean?
The ability to express whatever you want to give out to the world.
Okay. Here's my thing. I think that humans are the human brain is an automatic sort of developed system that was trained much like a computer algorithm.
Yeah.
I think we've got a sense of ourselves as being these like souls that can sort of are separate from our material, but that we have the similar, at least, constraints to an artificial intelligence and a biological intelligence. I think are very similar. I don't think that there's free will. I don't think that a first cause. I'm
No, I agree with you too. I've
Yeah.
seen these studies as well, where there's definitely a level of like, not like you said, not knowing what you want as well. There is the ability of knowing what you want, but there is also that perception of thinking you know what you want, and also thinking what you are going to be able to do, and thinking you know who you are as well. I mean, there's so many different like. I mean, let's not even talk about like early childhood stuff where it's like, oh, my brain, I want to do this because of this and yada yada, or even just like your environment basis, like you're affected by your environment regardless of how you look at it. I mean, the whole
exactly.
the whole you're not immune to propaganda.
Yeah, and people love to think that they are, right?
No
They
one
love to
is.
think
No.
that they make purchases and it has nothing to do with the colors that were used in the advertisement or something like that,
yeah.
right?
Doritos are orange for a reason.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, so can you tell me about, and this is kind of the last question, can you tell me about some of our rules of interpretation, like some of our programming, and specifically some of our bad programming? And this relates to what you were saying earlier about the limits of humans.
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah. So you might think of a computer software as a set of code, right?
Yes.
For how to process input and produce output. Well, I like to think of human cognition the same way, as rules of how to process input to produce output. So I'm going to give you an example of one. The in-group, out-group bias. Are you familiar with that?
Not familiar.
Okay. So we evolved in tribes, right?
Yes.
And so we evolved with a line of code that goes, if approaching human is member of same tribe, then afford them the benefit of the doubt. If approaching human is looks very different, then they are a member of other tribe. And if they are a member of other tribe, then be wary of their bad intentions.
Yeah, I would say that's totally fair. I mean, you have the whole, a friend of my friend is a friend of mine, as well as also that's for the first instance that you were talking about. For the second instance, you see that even on like a more cellular level, such as like white blood cells and red blood cells, where it's like, oh, you look different. That's their whole situation.
Yeah. Okay. So are there other? So this bit of this in-group out-group thing was advantageous for our ancestors, but today less so.
Yeah.
In a city like Chicago, you're constantly meeting people that look like a member of the other tribe, right? And so that could be a kind of some bad coding, or it could be maladaptive.
I feel like that could change through, again, like nature and nurture. Like you said, it's like in our programming. Like if you see like someone who looks similar, they're probably enemy tribe. That's nature. But I feel like people can be nurtured in an environment like this that's so diverse to like not see everyone as an immediate threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And so that's why it's so important, early exposure to other tribes.
I would say
Quote,
nurture
unquote, yeah.
accepts adaptability.
Yeah. Go ahead, elaborate.
I mean, you're given much more. I mean, not to say free will, but you're given more freedom as as big
As a
quotations
system.
as you can.
Yeah.
To what you might want without. There is of course always going to be variables that are going to affect you and how you decide and how you act, and even some that you aren't even aware of. But
Yeah.
there's always going to be well, not always, but for a traditional human, you know, who's like mentally well and everything, there's going to be a sort of drive, a sort of passion, a sort of reasoning as to why they're acting, doing, and treating others how they would like to. And even regardless of like early understanding for others.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Yeah.
bad that this is here.
Yeah.
I wish I
I
had
could
put
just
it
hold it.
higher up. Yeah, hold it
Hello.
up. Thanks. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
so
no
you
problem.
were saying that as you're being nurtured, as you're being raised, there's like a freedom for how you adapt to the environment, to your
Yeah.
desires.
Mm-hmm. There is that for sure. And yeah, there is a level where you can be. I can't really put the word on it. Dang it, I drew a blank.
No, and that's absolutely fine. And you know what?
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to have this conversation again with you guys. I think I'm a little bit too distracted by the road, and I'm about to interview a professor. So my mind is there as well. And so I haven't loved how I've conducted this interview. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys the channel so you can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would love to have this conversation. Again, you can check out some of the other videos I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can have lunch or something, because you guys seem great.
Nice.
And we kind of have a similar aesthetic.
Yeah. For
Brown,
sure.
long hair.
yeah, piercings, all that.
Yeah, okay, all right. But in other words, in group. As
Yeah,
for-
pretty as close as you could get.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a good test case.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit biased.
Exactly. Okay, all right, very good. So let's, I'm serious. Let's pick this up another time. And it's been a pleasure. Do you guys have any more closing remarks on the stuff that we kind of touched on? Let me ask you this. Are you a brain?
The brain is I.
So I is the brain?
Yeah, and vice versa.
Very good. Very good. That's my main thing. So I want you to learn more about these bad lines of code that we have, these biases and heuristics that we operate according to, but that aren't actually necessarily sort of the most reasonable or the most moral. So there's a book called You Are Not So Smart, another one called The Art of Thinking Clearly, that really lays them out really nicely.
Yeah. I mean, I want to add one more thing.
Yes.
This like innate like programming of like you see an outsider and you have to proceed with precaution. I feel like it can be like rewritten, unprogrammed.
Yes.
Because, for example, the dodo bird is a good example. They
Right.
lost their innate ability of like fear because
Okay.
they were so isolated and they have natural predators.
Right.
That when humans came, they didn't fear them at all, like any other animal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's proof that it can be changed. That
I don't think you described the part where it changed. I think that's why they went extinct. But for like another species,
100%.
but for another species, yeah, absolutely. And then with humans in particular, that's why we have until 18, where we have this nurturing part,
Yeah.
and then all this stuff's being rewritten, right? So
Yeah.
that we don't have to just depend on our innate genes to figure out how to find food. Our stuff
Yeah.
gets rewritten. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think humans are the best example of that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, dodo birds went extinct because of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's an example of a thing that we consider, fear being rewritten. Obviously, it was bad for them, but it could
Oh
be
no,
changed.
I get it. I get how it was rewritten. I thought you were okay. You're absolutely right. So first they had this fear in their genes, and then that was no longer advantageous,
Yeah.
and so it got rewritten where they
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, friend."
Yeah, evolution it didn't need it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then that can happen with evolution as well as
With
during
any
a
animal.
lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With any animal.
Other instances could be like, or ways that it only comes out at certain like high fear tension moments would be like the sloth. They can go fast, or
Yeah.
those slugs that like don't they like shoot their organs out when they're like
Okay,
it's, like,
I don't know
acidic?
about these.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so evolution and the modifying of our programming. Okay, very good, awesome. Thank you for that,
Thank
AJ.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was
Mario.
nice.
All right, so let me. So we'll end there. Haha.